What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Max. Joining me today is probably one of my best friends in the business. The guy has been nice to me since I made my way backstage at a show up here in Chicago a very long time ago. He's the Duke of Hardcore, the 2017 King of the Death Matches. The guy has literally been all over North America. The Duke of Hardcore, John Wayne Murdoch. John, thank you so much for taking some time. I'm sure Earl's got you busy, taking care of stuff over there, but I appreciate you sitting down with us for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, man, no problem. My kid just walked in the room. But yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, man.
No, it's all good. Mine's over here on a couch next to me. So
I was gonna say that the first time that really hung out backstage was when Pondo fell on my head.
Yeah. That was at the Resistance show. That was
yeah. Out of all the things that I've survived, that's probably the worst.
I remember.
I kid.
I
was pretty fucked up, but
dude, because Schlack had just gotten hurt in the match before and cut that the vein in the side of his head, and I'm an EMT for you guys that don't know. I'm a retired EMT, but I do still carry the firefighter and EMT certs. And I was looking at Schlack, and Sean Patrick grabs me and he goes, "Hey, watch this! They're going to do a DVD or a Canadian Destroyer off the." I'm like, "Who is?" And he goes, "Pondo and John," and I'm like, Pondo's going to do a Canadian Destroyer. And he goes,
he gave it the college. Yeah, I think that there was a lot of he had that hard, he had a horrible time getting to the venue that night.
3 flat tires in one trip.
Man, that's a lot of stress, and then to go out there and try a move that you've never tried, never anything. Hats off to him. It just didn't go well. It just did. But he was safe. Hey, he was safe. And at the end of the day, to me, that's all that matters.
Right, yeah. And you guys both, live to go on to more matches, and ultimately that's all that matters. I think,
for sure.
As a deathmatch fan primarily, one of the things I always watch in matches is if the guys work safe. I got a lot of shit because I criticized Toby Klein a few times because I'm like, Toby Klein I never looked at him as a safe worker. Guys were constantly getting hurt working against him, and I don't like to watch matches like that where guys are getting hurt. It's just not a lot of fun. But I digress. We got to get to a couple of subjects, and I know you're short on time. Your son's there with you. So let's first talk about what happened at Fallout, and leading up to Fallout. So you were in New Jersey on Saturday.
Yeah. What a day that was.
You guys got in a car wreck on the way there, right?
Yeah, man. On the way up, we're 10 minutes from the venue. I mean, I'm smiling now, but it wasn't funny then. But no, we're just all tired. Shit happens, and this wrecks. There's a car flipping. We fucking swerve. We hit another car. Shit's all going all around us. We almost hit this brick building. When the car comes to, Shad, a guy that's been to AWR before, he's like, get out, because shit's smoking and stuff. So we get out and everything. Then cops come, and cops being cops, and me being me.
And I've hung out with the rejects to tell you that if John Wayne Murdoch or Reed or Akira's in a building, there's probably some plants, some flowers with them.
Yeah. So I end up getting arrested on top of the car wreck, which it was just an hour. So no.
Was it POM?
What now? Oh yeah, possession. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah. So this fucking took me in, booked me. I got out, make the show, have a hell of a match with Jeff King. He's like the human test crash dummy. I don't think that he could be stopped. I don't think he's bendable. He's not breakable. So I had a hell of a match with him, and then followed that up with Nick Gage, doing what Nick Gage does and trying to be the man and have that spotlight on him. So he comes out. We have a match, and I end up beating him on top of that. So in one day, I survived a car crash, being arrested, Jeff King, and Nick Gage. And then Sunday, have to come to AWR because Nick Gage did not get on his flight for whatever reason. And I would like to think it was because he was holding a bag of ice over his eyes from the match before. But no, so go and have a hell of a match with Dale and almost beat Dale. So I had a really, fucking packed 2 days.
And for folks that haven't seen it, Dale jumped off the second story of the Emerson Theater.
I'm surprised he didn't do it with his ass out.
I was very shocked because I was actually in the locker room. Dale had knocked you down and comes flying up the steps, and we're like, oh shit, is Dale hurt? Because a lot of times when the guys come, we'll pull the window back a little bit. A lot of times when guys come flying into the back, it's because they're hurt and need tape on something, or they don't want the fans to see them like trying to get their elbow fixed or whatever, right? So I'm running over to where he's at, and he grabs there's a curtain. He grabs it out of the nail, tells me and the two other guys that are there to fucking move, and jumps up on there. And we're like, dude, what are you about to do? And he goes, I'm going to fucking kill John Wayne Murdoch. And proceeds to climb up on there and jump. All in the course of that was not a planned spot. No one knew that was going to happen. We had like two wrestlers happen to be down there to kind of help, but that was not planned. There was no thought into that.
You know what was going through my mind as he's up there is I'm looking around and I see Charlie Cruel out there, and I'm going, who the fuck is she gonna catch? If Dale's ass comes off of that, he's gonna squash her. But she had balls. She was out there doing her duties. But yeah, man, was very happy with having that match with Dale. I think he deserves the match with Gage. I hope he gets it. I hope Gage is at AWR in August.
I think he will be.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that I think should happen. I don't think this was malicious at all. I think if anything, just shit didn't line up. He might not have been able to get a ride. Whatever the case may be, I hope to see him in Indy in August. So,
and I think he'll be there. That's August 23rd for Rotten to the Core. That name's not picked on accident. I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah.
But I ain't scared to if we have to later on down the line. I'll just leave it like that.
They got their guns drawn on that one.
Yeah. You want to come to somebody's town and run a show, and then, is what it is. But so Rotten to the Core, doors are going to open at 6. First match is at 6:30 and already announced. And it's a guy that I think, you were supposed to have a tag, or no, Aiden. I get you, Aiden, and Reed and Akira. Akira's the one.
Same person.
Yeah. Akira's the one that's not quite so interchangeable, but you, Aiden, and Reed all kind of blend together.
Yeah.
And there was talks that you were going to come up with Akira when Aiden couldn't come, and have Aiden's back, or Akira's back rather, in the tag match. Obviously that didn't come to fruition. Akira, for those of you that don't know, Akira ended up with a 2-inch hole in his stomach.
Yeah, it looked like he'd been shot in the chest.
From Matt Tremont. Also on that same card in New Jersey. So Demento must have really had it in for our workers on Saturday. He's like, I'm going to show Gary. I'm going to show Gary what's up. I'm going to hurt all of his guys. And that's a complete joke. Danny's literally like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and would never do anything like that. But yeah, so Akira, we knew Akira wasn't making it fairly early in the day. We probably knew the night before. We probably knew on Saturday night that he wasn't. I didn't know that until I got to the venue, but the podcast guy doesn't really need to know a whole lot. And then they were able to get you in, and I think they were working on trying to get Reed up too, but I don't think things worked out for that. So
Reed's still in hibernation, but he will be there in August. I will say that he will.
So we can confirm that the rejects will be in full force.
Yeah, all three of us in August. Yeah.
Rufio. Oh, I'm sorry. Akira, Reed, and John Wayne Murdoch. Which apparently Akira was saying that he doesn't wrestle with a boner. So I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I beg to differ.
It's exciting.
He had a hard on.
Wrestling's Oh Who doesn't get a boner?
Oh yeah. I think it's when he got cut, he just got hard, man. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, so you and Reed going to be in the same building. Those damn rejects in the same building.
Gonna be some fuckery. There's gonna be some shit going down.
And you're getting cut in line because Alex Ocean's coming in and going to have a street fight with Justin Kyle.
Yeah.
And I know you've still got Justin interfered with that heavyweight championship or the world championship match that you had with Drew. So I'm sure you would still like to get your hands on Justin. You still like to get your hands on Drew.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts of a kid from Florida coming up?
When he run in, like, I was mad. I skipped sad. Now I just want to whoop his ass. And yeah, man. And as far as fucking Alex Ocean skipping ahead, like, you can't kill him. So I guess what can you do? And I think that if we want to talk about what Dale did jumping off the out of the roof gimmick, then what Alex Ocean's got in his head or what he's gonna do. I mean, he will come off.
He's gonna jump off the outside of the building.
Yeah. He'll come off anything. So yeah, man, it's gonna be great. So I hope Kyle catches a flying Alex Ocean to the head.
Nice. Also on that card, like we said, we'll probably riding up in the car with you from Kentucky will be the number one contender to the AWR championship in Akira, who Drew Skills. I almost called him by his real name. That would have been bad.
Been ducking him.
He's been ducking him. And then Drew, after seeing the injuries on my own Facebook page, I showed Drew the injuries. He goes, "Turn your camera on. I need to talk." And called out Akira for ducking him and said that he would have made the town hurt like that. So
I bet Drew has called out of bookings for a paper cut to his pinky. Guarantee it. Look it up.
Hey, real quick, we're about in the middle of the podcast. Do you guys have links to buy merch? Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, we are working on. Just check our Facebook pages. We have a couple of things coming up. We have a rejects design, which will include Akira, and then I'm working on something for a John Wayne Murdoch shirt. I don't have much more than that. I don't want to ruin it, but look for that. So yeah, we have just check our Facebook pages, and I think that Akira has links on his page to all his stuff and his wrestling store as well.
Yeah. So John Wayne Murdoch's exactly that on Facebook. Akira's exactly that on Facebook. Look them up and hook these guys up, guys. Here's one thing I want. Gary and I tried to drive it home a couple weeks ago when we talked, but it needs to be brought up again. Is this is kind of how you can tip these guys. If you appreciate what they do, go buy a hat, go buy a shirt. It helps them put. John's taking snapshots over there.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
We've got
something. I'm just learning. No, I hit something, and yeah. Go ahead as you continue.
They're just getting used to cell phones in Kentucky, folks.
Yeah,
hang tight.
Yeah. That was for me to beat off to later.
Well, the image I saw was basically a bunch of blade marks in the middle of your forehead. And what John got, anyways, we'll finish this, and then I'll get to what I was going to talk about. So Akira, I don't think Reed has much stuff on his Facebook for wrestling shirts and stuff, but Akira definitely does, and John does. And then the Rejects have a Facebook page as well. Go through and like that. Go through and like Akira's page. Be sure to like AWR and the Chronicles of the Asylum podcast page as well. Let us know who you wanted me to talk to. The nice thing about most of these wrestlers are they'll sit down and give us 15 minutes and tell us about their life, what's going on. I'll let you guys get some better.
I'm doing not to interrupt you. I'm doing a random podcast about basketball. Like, we'll talk to anybody and do
right.
it. Yeah.
Well, and like Reed said, the time I ever interviewed you guys, he's like, and we're available for bookings. If you want a death match at your birthday party, holler at the Rejects. We will come and jump off your roof and do everything you need at your birthday party. So,
little Johnny's 5th birthday, I'll smash a tube over somebody's head. I don't give a shit. Yeah.
I have a friend that was just planning. I was at lunch with yesterday, and he was talking about his planning a christening, and he's like, "What kind of entertainment?" And the first thing that popped in my head was Reed saying that, and I'm like, "I can get these two boys from Kentucky to come up and have a wrestling match."
I mean, shit. If you pay me well, I'll beat up little Johnny, and you don't have to buy him birthday gifts. So.
Well, and on that subject a little bit, my son, when he found out, he watched the interview with me and Drew Skills, and this is before we knew you were going to be there. He goes, I sure hope your friend John's going to be there because I think Drew might beat you up. And he goes, John knows how to use light tubes.
Oh, yeah.
I said, yeah. And then he ended up hanging out with your son at the show the whole time, who your son said he's going to teach my son to wrestle.
Oh,
so
awesome.
They've got some plans. But my son got insanely jealous from Brent Havoc's son and Brent in the ring before the show, learning some stuff. My son's like, he was going over to Dewey Wellington. He's like, can you teach me how to do that stuff?
They're about the same height.
That's what I said. I go, Mike, you might beat Dewey up. Yeah. But yeah. So, anyways, what do you have? Let's look outside of AWR for a little bit. I don't want to talk about the promotion down south. Down by you, but what else you got? You got ICW coming up?
I got ICW coming up, and real quick before that, I got Paul Cade coming up this Saturday. Paradigm Pro Wrestling and some of the guys are teaming up, and a guy named Chad French does write-ups and stuff like that. But yeah, he's running a show called Paul Cade. Please come out. If you can't come out and donate, it's going to help a animal shelter and everything.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
So yeah, man, that's going to be really cool benefit. So if you're coming to that, bring all your dogs, your animals, bring all the cows. Oh yeah, I will have a cow. I swear, I'm going to bring a cow to the ring with me. Legit, this isn't down south, so I don't mean female or.
I was going to say,
don't
is
think
that. Is a cow a really big rat?
No, no. I'm bringing a cow.
A shoot cow to the ring
as a gift for Levi Everett before I beat him up. So we're having an Amish street fight. So yeah, I'm gonna bring a cow to the ring, and I'm gonna milk it.
Nice. So, you want to talk about another amazingly nice guy is Levi Everett. It's just
man, great.
Another guy that would give you the shirt off his back.
Then in August, like I said, ICW is doing Deathmatch Circus. They are doing 24 hours of entertainment. It's going to be crazy. It starts on Friday with Volume 4. And then, which is August 7th, right? I don't want to get these dates right. Yep. August 7th, Volume 4, Deathmatch Circus. And then after that is Danny DeMano's Birthday Bash, which everybody's just going to get fucking drunk and probably pass out wherever they stand. So, yeah, bring your camping gear and all the extra, plants you can. So, and then the next day, August 8th, officially kicks off Deathmatch Circus. We have early in the morning breakfast with the fighters. We have a deathmatch workshop. Abdullah the Butcher is going to do a Q&A and a signing.
He'll probably blade during that.
What now?
I said he'll probably blade during the signing.
Oh, yeah. I think the signing is a little bit extra on top of the ticket price. Check into that. I'm not sure. And then after that, we have Deathmatch Circus. So, it's going to be a cool 2 days. 24 hours camping, anything, carnival games, clowns, a lot of fucking carny shit, like anything and everything.
Aside from wrestling, there's going to be other carny shit?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then you're also in Dysfunction's Deathmatch tournament, right?
Oh, Insane 8, yep. And then I forgot something right after Paul Cade. In July 25th, the Heavy Hitters tournament for Paradigm Pro.
Yeah. Which
is going to be good. And then, Dysfunction is going to be August 30th, 31st.
31st, I believe. 31st. But I think he's doing two shows in one day.
Header that day, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the first time he's done this tournament at the venue. So definitely let's pack that place. Like me and Oren Veit are going to kill it.
Yeah, that's definitely a top 10 death match this year for sure. Oren is one of those guys that his star has just constantly been on the rising, and it's time for, I think, between that the King of the Death matches this year, Insane 8. I'd love to see him come into AWR. I know he and Gary are working on that even as we speak. I would love to see him transition from the new boy to a little bit more of the, getting some of that rub as more of the seasoned pro in the world. Because he's been around.
I think he will. I think definitely. I think once he comes to ICW, like I think he's gonna get. Yeah, I think he's only gonna get better with time.
And he's a guy, and I love this guy to death, and it's so sad what happened to him. But he's a guy that can kind of fill in where in all the spots the guys had Marcus Crane kind of going. I think Oren could kind of come in and fill a very similar role. He's a guy that's not scared to fly, a guy that's not scared to take insane bumps. That I've never. I mean, the thing he did at 400 degrees against Raver when he hit that board outside the ring to start the match off was insane. And then the Bloody Snow Angels later. I know it's a touchy show for you. That's that's when Schlatt got hurt before you could wrestle him, and you drove to Indiana. You drove all the way to Chicago and didn't get to wrestle.
I forgot about that, man. What a bad night. Just that we had to wait all that time to finally get me and Schlatt in a singles, but it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
So Rotten to the Core, August 23rd, doors at 6, match at 6:30. It's going to be at the Emerson Theater in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's right on 10th Street. Which is on the northeast side of Indy, southeast side of Indy. It's on one side of Indianapolis for sure.
Yeah, gotta be.
Who, if the rejects get to choose, are you working a singles or are you working like a tornado tag with Reed or Akira?
I think I want to tag. I think we haven't tore things up together in a while, so
it's been a long time.
I'm looking for a tag team challenge.
I think the last time I remember you guys, and it was a singles match that I'm remembering, but Reed interfered at at Tournament of Death.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, we tagged, I think a couple of times, but yeah, most of our recent stuff has been singles. So yeah, we're looking for a good tag. We're looking for a good tag brawl.
So yeah, you want to go death match or just a brawl, hardcore match, or?
I'd like to do it all. Let's get somebody in there that can do it all. We'll go spot for spot. Reed can pull out his 450.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So who do you want? And then you've got the young boy in the group, Akira. You think Akira? It's time for Akira to cash in on Drew, or you got bigger plans?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's time. Or I hate to say it, but I mean, if Dale's not going to get his match with Gage, then maybe Akira can. So
Akira with Gage or Akira with Dale?
Akira with Gage.
That would be insane. That would be, because I've seen a lot of people on Facebook recently calling for Akira and some of the Japanese guys, and a lot of people are saying, Akira's only been around a couple years. He needs to spend some time, and he needs to have some more rough matches with these United States guys. And I think
Gage is definitely rough.
Gage is definitely rough. Gage has definitely beat him up a little bit, and although I don't know that he's going to walk out of there with a new body hole like Tremont did to him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
One thing I was going to ask you about that. Well, let's finish this subject first, and then Aiden also kind of hangs with the rejects. He's from your area. He's got some openings too, and I would love to see if I could pick a match for him. I would love to see him and as my mind goes completely blank, him and Gage as well, or him and Dale. Him and Dale would be cool. A name that always is out there because we're in Indianapolis is Scotty Vortex. Tell me that Aiden and Scotty wouldn't be an awesome.
I like that.
That's the one that I was thinking of and couldn't get to it for some reason.
Your mind went blank.
Yeah. Well, all I see is him on Facebook under his real name, and I didn't want to say his real name, and I'm like, shit. Yeah. But yeah, so I think there's plenty of great matches for you Kentucky guys that want to come up here and mix it up with the Hoosier boys, and plenty of real tough Indiana kids that can come up. One thing I was going to ask you too is, we've got Cole, we've got Miles, we've got Dewey. You guys got some guys down there that can come up and mix up that style and do that? Is anybody hanging out with you guys or?
Not in this area. I know that Larry D, he's got some pretty good high flyers that his company can come up and do that. But all bigger guys with the rejects. You know,
I think
other
Akira
than
could go out there and
we're
fly with the
fighting
kids,
him
though.
up. We're fattening him up.
Yeah.
Feed him a bunch of hot dogs on the trips.
Right. Well, he was telling me that he's up to like 185, and I'm like, dude, there's no way you weigh 185 pounds. You know, you still look like Rufio.
That's his boner.
Yeah. Last thing before I let you go, because I do want to keep this right under a half hour. Plans for the next 12 months in AWR. You know, the boss has talked about adding like I've been asking for like a brass knuckles or a title like that, or a barbed wire title. That was my favorite title back in the day in Combat Zone, was that brass knucks title that, you know, got defended in any kind of match. Yeah, and then he's also talking about tag belts at some point. You know, we're a relatively new company, less than 2 years old. So as these belts get in, what, you know, are you thinking like a hardcore deathmatch style title? You want to be a tag team champ? I mean, you've been a tag team champ everywhere. You've been the Game Changer Wrestling tag champs. Were you guys Combat Zone tag champs?
No. Unfortunately, all that went to shit before anything got to happen.
But then you've been in every promotion down south. You've had the belts. Everybody that runs that specific building in Jeffersonville, you guys have held their belts.
Yeah, we're just the tag champs of that building.
Of the arena. Yeah. Which, a rumor has it you're banned from that arena currently, right?
Yeah. We can't defend them anymore. We're stripped.
Yeah. So where would you rather go?
You know, it's hard to say. Both, I think I could do well at. I think holding the tag belts first would be great. But there's benefits in both. If I hold the hardcore title, I can only elevate it. I can only wrestle with people and make them better and have good matches. And same as the tag division, me and Reed together can only leave the belts in better shape than when we found them. We can only take them so far. So I think both holds benefits, and I'm down. I'm a company guy. I'm down for whatever.
And I'd like to see if especially with the tag belt, the Freebird rule come into effect.
You know,
you let you and Akira defend them together, or Akira and Reed defend them, or Aiden can come in. You know, whoever happens to be the reject that night. I know Aiden's not a true reject yet, but he rolls with you guys and looks just like Reed. So
by default, he's in.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd like to see something like that, especially with the tag belts and the state of indie wrestling. Sometimes guys, you know, like we said when we were doing the gimmick push there a minute ago, is these guys all work full-time jobs, and sometimes they just can't get off work to defend their titles. So, you know, you gotta have some stuff in there too to allow for that. I know, and the other question I had for you, and I've been asked this a couple times lately, is how much longer's John Wayne Murdoch got in the tank?
Oh man, right now things keep going the way they're going a lot longer than I thought. I feel good after the elbow surgery. I think that added a lot longer. I was just having major elbow issues, and it was just becoming to be a problem and shit. So before the surgery, I'd say not long, but now, like, you know, I'm gonna try to go another 10.
Another 10 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna try
That'd
to
be
stay
awesome.
with as long as I can. You're gonna have to drag me out of this fucking thing.
Well, you can do like Pondo says. He's not going to stop doing death matches. Death matches stop doing him. And he said, he goes, most likely you're rolling my lifeless body out of the ring one of these days. And he goes, and there will be a smile on that face when you roll it out, because that's how I want to go out. So hopefully that's not true, and hopefully, but I love Pondo. And that was the first guy to really kind of smarten me up. So do appreciate that in him. But like we said, Rotten to the Core, August 23rd. We got plenty of time before that show. A lot of stuff's going to be announced. I know Gary's working on stuff for the rejects or for each of the guys individually. I'm not going to give any hints, but I can tell you that the match that's being thrown around for the rejects right now has me so freaking excited. I can't like wipe the smile off my face, and I bet I've texted Gary 15 times about it.
Yeah, man. You know how excited it has me?
I can't. Yeah, you got to be. I mean,
I want to watch. It has me so excited. I want to watch TNA's Slammiversary, Impact Slammiversary. That's how excited I am.
We recently broke the story that on Saturday, July 18th at Slammiversary, a former world champion will make his return to Impact Wrestling. We can now confirm from multiple sources that not only will he be in attendance, but he will not be alone. They're coming. More as this story develops.
It'll be very, very interesting to see, what happens, what comes of that. And, Slammiversary is what, next week?
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get some news after that about who's coming in, and should be a really, really exciting. And I know the plans with Akira for the next few months are insane as well. And the other thing, folks, I want to drive home real quick too is we damn near sold that building out. We were at 80% capacity.
Yeah, I seen they were wrapped around the building. I know for a fact that you guys turned them away. Now I don't know, was there ticket deals? Was there anything that was there?
I think, as far as I know, those were all people that bought tickets. There was no giveaways. The radio stations didn't get any. Every one of those was a true fan that came out. When you got there, because you guys got there pretty late, I went out and got your wife and son. Well, tried to get them in. They'd already gotten in. We kind of walked past each other. But I walked out, and it threw me off because the first thing that happened is 3 or 4 people like, Max is here. And I'm like, there's 7 people in the wrestling world that know me. I'm like, oh, Reed's not here. John's inside and Sean's inside. So there's 3/4 of the people that know me in wrestling, and it was people that had actually seen the podcast. So that was really, really cool to get noticed for that. But then they're like, hey, they're saying we might not be able to get in. And this was at, at 5:30. So that was incredible to see that line all the way around the door. And, everybody did a great job with masks. I think most of the people wore them most of the time. I know, like I said, my 6-year-old was there hanging out with your son, and I let my son eventually take his mask off just because he'd been in the building so damn long and so sweaty. But, everybody did a great job with masks. We didn't have, for an indie wrestling show that it was that hot in the building, we didn't fight in the crowd. Except for the bastard Cassidy getting into it with
I asked him, yeah, crazy. Shit happening everywhere.
Yeah, it was nuts. Every time I'd walk over to that curtain and look over, there was more shit popping off. So we're going to kind of leave it there. I'm sure John will come back on once this match gets announced. But yeah, we'll get Reed on as well if a tag match gets announced. And we'll go from there. Go check out John Wayne Murdoch on Facebook. Check out Akira on Facebook. AWR on Facebook. And Chronicles of the Asylum on Facebook. And fuck Jim Cornette.
Yes, fuck him. See you guys. Thank you.